Donald Trump just had another rough exchange with reporters, this time both in front of and aboard Air Force One. The conversation quickly turned into a rant about Canada and his abrupt decision to suspend trade discussions with them for reasons that, frankly, don't make much sense, and we definitely need to talk about it. But before we get into the details, if you enjoy this kind of breakdown and want to support the channel, don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, and notification bell before you go. All right, friends, we've got a few clips to go through. First, we'll look at the video of Trump speaking with reporters before boarding Air Force One. And then we'll get into the audio from his remarks while on board. Let's start with that first clip.
I don't know. They cheated on a commercial. Ronald Reagan loved tariffs, and they said he didn't. And I guess it was AI or something. They cheated badly. Canada got caught cheating on a commercial. Can you believe it?
No, we can't. What are you even talking about? That wasn't AI. It was an actual clip, real footage from a speech delivered by President Reagan back in 1987. It was completely authentic. But this is just how Donald Trump's mind works. The moment someone disagrees with him or references something he doesn't like, suddenly it's cheating, it's rigged, it's stolen. He starts shouting about rigged commercials the same way he rants about rigged elections. None of it makes sense. And the irony here is that Trump and his allies use AI-generated videos all the time for political messaging. They've literally shared fully AI-rendered clips of Democratic leaders like Senator Chuck Schumer, and even fake videos targeting peaceful protesters in New York City. So even if someone had used AI, which they didn't, he'd have no ground to complain. But again, hypocrisy has always been the driving force behind the MAGA movement. Let's continue.
Well, we raised a lot. We've raised over $350 million. It's a beautiful room, a big room. I don't have any plan to call it after myself. That was expected. Probably going to call it the Presidential Ballroom or something like that. We haven't really thought about a name yet.
So, reports have surfaced claiming that Donald Trump plans to name the new White House ballroom after himself. Now, he's calling that fake news. But honestly, that sounds exactly like something Trump would do. It fits his brand perfectly. You can practically picture it already, a massive golden T right in the center of the room. Maybe he's changed his mind, or maybe he's denying it for now, only to do it later. Because again, that would be completely in character. The ballroom itself reportedly carries a staggering $300 million price tag. Extravagant, lavish, and totally over the top. Trump insists taxpayers won't foot the bill, but that's still unclear. And even if private donors are covering the cost, that raises another question. What are they getting in return? It could open the door to conflicts of interest, which again would be entirely on brand for how Trump operates.
Well, it could even be more than that. Probably, possibly, assuming we can do that. You know, we're building the Ark, and maybe we use it for the Ark. Looks like we might. You know, we're going to be building the Ark. And we've raised a lot of money for the ballroom, so maybe we'll put... The Ark is going to be incredible for Washington, D.C. So maybe we use it for the Ark.
From what I understand, the Ark Trump keeps referring to is meant to be something like an American version of the Arc de Triomphe, a monument commemorating victory in World War II. Now, it's completely unnecessary, but that's not even the main issue. The real problem is that with Trump, you have to question everything he says. When he claims, "Don't worry, taxpayers won't pay for it," it's hard to take him at his word. This is the same person who's reportedly trying to get $230 million in taxpayer money from the Justice Department. Money tied to legal accountability for actions taken during his first term. And if that weren't enough, Trump himself has floated the idea that if he does receive that payout, he might use part of it to fund the ballroom project, meaning yes. Taxpayers would end up footing the bill after all. It's just one contradiction after another. He can't keep his story straight. Now let's check out the next clip.
Ontario said it's going to pull that Reagan tariff ad from this Monday, but it's airing it during his first two World Series games. Well, you know, it's a crooked ad. I heard he's airing it. Canada, that's why I pulled everything. With Canada, they did a crooked ad. They knew it was Ronald Reagan loved tariffs. What they did is really dishonest. And I heard they were pulling the ad. I didn't know they were putting it on a little bit more. They could have pulled it tonight. They're going to pull it Monday. Well, that's dirty playing. But I can play dirtier than they can, you know? It's not on the Australian. Really, very dishonest.
Yeah, we get it. The corruption speaks for itself. No need to brag about it. What's wild, though, is how Trump reacts anytime someone references Ronald Reagan in a way he doesn't like. Suddenly, that's cheating. It's rigged. It's fake. It's corrupt. Everything becomes a conspiracy if it doesn't revolve around him. And then, of course, there's his response to Canada. He constantly talks about how vital our trade relationship is, how he's going to negotiate the best deals. And yet, the moment something bruises his ego, he threatens to pull the plug entirely. It's not about policy or strategy, it's about personal vanity and impulse. Not exactly what you want to see from someone managing international trade. Anyway, once Trump boarded Air Force One, we got access to some audio recordings. No video this time, but the audio says plenty on its own.
What's your view on what Canada needs to do to get things back on track?
Canada lied. I mean, what they did was terrible. They made up a fake statement by President Reagan. Reagan was a big supporter of tariffs when needed. And we need tariffs for national security. And they totally turned it around because they're getting hurt by tariffs and we're gaining by tariffs. They've used tariffs on us when we had different presidents very successfully. And they've taken a lot of money out of our country. And now we're taking it all back. And so they went out and they made a fake commercial. The Reagan Foundation went crazy when they saw it because it was, the opposite.
Most people can agree. Using tariffs strategically can be fine when truly necessary. The problem here is that Trump isn't using them strategically. He's applying massive, broad, and reckless tariffs against nearly every country at once. That's not targeted policy, and that's economic chaos. Even President Reagan, who believed in strong trade principles, would never have supported such an indiscriminate and self-destructive approach.
What's your view on what Canada needs to do to get things back on track?
Canada lied. I mean, what they did was terrible. They made up a fake statement by President Reagan. Reagan was a big supporter of tariffs when needed. And we need tariffs for national security. And they totally turned it around because they're getting hurt by tariffs and we're gaining by tariffs. They've used tariffs on us when we had different presidents very successfully. And they've taken a lot of money out of our country, and now we're taking it all back. And so they went out and they made a fake commercial. The Reagan Foundation went crazy when they saw it because it was, the opposite. It was the opposite of what Ronald Reagan liked tariffs, and when necessary, he would use tariffs. And it's made us a very rich country. It's also made us, when they were used against us, it was not good for us. But we've used them very successfully. We have the highest stock market we've ever had. We have great national security. I've settled wars because of tariffs. And a president has the right to use tariffs, especially when it comes to national security. And we need it for national security, even including our own wealth and paying down debt and all of the other things. So, we're in very good shape with that. But they took a commercial saying the exact opposite, Canada. So I'm very disappointed in Canada. They lied. I mean, it was a fraud what they did.
The Reagan Foundation recently released the full quote, and while they were clearly trying to defend Trump, the actual words of President Reagan show that Canada's interpretation was correct. Reagan was referring to targeted, industry-specific tariffs, not sweeping, economy-wide measures. In that context, he was talking about semiconductor tariffs aimed at Japan for national security reasons. So, Reagan wasn't against all tariffs, but he warned against using them broadly or recklessly. That's exactly what we're seeing today. Widespread tariffs that are hurting the economy and dragging down public approval.
What can they do to get it back on track, though?
I mean, I'm satisfied with the deal we have. We have a deal right now that's very good for us, and any deal that would have been made would have been better for them than the one they have right now. That's why I was surprised they did this. If they did this to try and influence the Supreme Court, and many foreign countries aren't particularly happy, but they took advantage of us for years. For years and years they took advantage. And presidents shouldn't have allowed that to happen, but they did. So, really, I don't think there's much they can do. I just assume leave it the way it is.
Will you meet with
If you leave it the way it is, it's very good for us.
No, American farmers are not happy, and for good reason. Trump's reckless economic policies and misguided tariffs are hurting them badly. Many of these same farmers supported him, yet they're once again paying the price under his leadership, just like during his first trade war with China. And now he's adding insult to injury by saying he wants to boost beef imports from Argentina to help out his friend, Javier Milei. That move has infuriated American farmers even more. At the end of the day, this isn't about smart trade policy or helping the American people. It's about corruption, vanity, and personal favors, the hallmarks of Donald Trump's approach to power. And if you stuck around at the end, you can drop the blue heart in the comments, and until next time, I will see you soon.